Have you ever had a chai tres leches cake? If you have not, I'm about to show you how to make it, so let's get started. Now you can make this with a box cake, but I chose to make my own today. So I started with a big bowl, cracked in 3 eggs, added a tablespoon of vanilla extract and 2/3 of a cup of sugar. I mixed it from 3 to 5 minutes until it turned nice and pale. Then I added a cup and 3/4 of flour, a tablespoon of baking powder, a 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. Folded everything together, transferred to a lined baking dish, smoothed it out, and into the oven it went. Baked at 350 for 30 minutes. While that's baking, I got my milk mixture ready, which is a cup of evaporated milk, half of a cup of chai concentrate, and half of a cup of sweetened condensed milk. Gave it a mix and set it aside. Then to make my whipped cream, I added a cup and a half of heavy whipping cream, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and the rest of the can of the sweetened condensed milk. Whip it using a hand mixer until you get to this consistency. Let your cake cool for about 2 hours. Then this part is optional, but I like to even it out. So using a bread knife, I like to remove the dome part. Then you're gonna flip it over and submerge it with the milk mixture. Then add in that delicious whipped cream on top. And finally, for the hardest part, you're gonna have to refrigerate it overnight so the cake can have time to absorb all the milk. And as always, I hope you give this recipe a try and don't forget to follow for more delicious recipes.